guys, Anne-Marie here, and today I'm introducing a new series that we're gonna call 36 card pickup because it's jumped in my head and stuck, so I can't call it anything else. Um, Basically, this is a series inspired by one sheet of paper. It's Jen Hadfield's All Along the Way, and it's a sheet of paper that I didn't take a picture of before I started punching all the circles out of, but I will put a photo in the video. And I think she's come out, there's been others like this too, so I'm sure this isn't the only one, but this just happened to be one that I came across on clearance several months ago and decided this would be perfect for cards. Like, look how many cards I can get out of here. And I was kind of floored to realize that there's 36 separate sentiments, different combinations of the floral wreaths and different sentiments. There's 6 different sentiments and probably that many floral wreaths. And then the whole paper is just like a combination of that. And then the back side is just like a nice black and white floral that would be useful in a lot of different ways too. But I went for broke and did all the sentiments. So this related to my scrapbooking goals in a lot of different ways for the year. And that's really why I got so excited about this when I unpacked it. First of all, I'm currently frozen, which means I'm not buying scrapbooking stuff. I am allowing myself to buy adhesive. I am allowing myself to replace cardstock when it needs to be. But that's it. And I'm really jonesing for a good scrappy spending hit, I'll be honest. So the goal, the way that I'm playing a little game with myself, the way that I set it up, I have to complete 50 pages until I unfreeze. So a page can obviously be, a page of a layout. A single page layout would be 1 page. A double page layout would count as 2 pages towards my goal. However, I do make a lot of cards as well, so I decided I would include those, and I would say that 5 cards would be the equivalent of 1 page. So if I make 36 cards, that gets me 7 pages closer to that goal. I'm also participating in a challenge on a message board where we have to make 5 cards every month. Well, this is an easy way to meet that, right? I have a personal scrapbooking goal on my blog where I am trying to build my stash of sympathy and birthday and thank you cards. At least 4 of these sentiments really fit those categories. So this is going to help me meet that goal, or at least make significant progress on it. I also have a personal goal of using 2,021 items this year, any scrapbooking items. I am not counting these sentiments separately, so this doesn't count, as 36 sentiments. It does only count as 1 because it's only coming from 1 piece of paper. However, I'm going to get to do a deep dive in my scraps, and I'm going to get to use up a lot of 6x6 paper that I've been trying to use. So, plus embellishments, etc. It gives me the opportunity to use lots of stuff, which is what I want to do. Another one of my goals this year has just been improving my card making in general. So if you remember a while back, I posted a video called Next Level Cards, and it was just about moving my card making kind of up a little bit. I tend to be a very simple, basic, elemental card maker, and I like formulas and I like mass producing cards. However, I can also get a little lazy with that, and I'm wanting to push myself and challenge myself a little bit so that I'm going beyond just the basics, and I'm putting some actual time and effort and care into the creation of my cards. And that's completely different than like clean and simple cards. There's a lot of beautiful clean and simple cards out there, beautiful techniques, quality materials, high intensity design principles. Like, I understand that there's a lot going on with clean and simple cards, and I completely admire people that can do that. I just can't pull those off. I rely on pattern paper and techniques and layers to kind of cover my errors and to make my cards more beautiful. So for me, I need the stuff, but I also want to dress the stuff up a little bit. So this project is going to like check all those boxes in so many ways, and it really has me excited. I had this paper, I had a circle punch, I went to town. Unfortunately, my the way I had to trim them out wasn't going to be perfect. I wasn't going to be able to punch these circles out perfectly. So I decided, I've got these little straight edges every once in a while on the circles. And so my treatment for that was distressing them. And so I assembled a couple of different tools to help me distress. I've got my basic gray paper distressing tool set. I have an edge distresser from Heidi Swap. Both of those are ancient. And then I just have my Fiskars scissors. A couple of the circles were just so off center, I just went whole hog and did the rough hand cut look on purpose and just trimmed all around the circle to really make it look homemade and not perfect. Boom, there's my scrap bag. That's how I keep my scraps. I chuck them in a bag. And when the bag gets full, then I find a reason to pull stuff out. Like this project of making 36 cards. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm just going through and I'm pulling out all of the huge pieces of paper and or cardstock that I can see that would be large enough to cut a card mat, a background from. So like I just pulled out that arrow piece of paper, but I put it back, and that's because that style would not go with these, the style of these sentiments. I'm pulling out a lot of solid colors in my, the lickety split cards that I did about a month ago. I did rainbow colors, and so I had a lot of cardstock left from that. So you'll see a lot of that reappearing in this video. And I'm just going to go through and start cutting these down to fit an A2 card. So I go ahead and I have the A2 card, which the front of that is 4¼ inches by 5½ inches. But I'm not going to cut my mats at that. I'm going to cut my mats at 4 inches by 5¼ inches. So they're going to have 1/8 of an inch all around border on the white card base. And then I'm just seeing how many mats I can get out of all of these. All right, so after I have my background pieces, then it's time to start picking out embellishments. So I keep a lot of my embellishments in the 4x6 iris photo containers. I've got them sorted mostly by color, sometimes 2 colors. So you can see my red container, my yellow-orange container, my blue-green container, and then I have another container with small flowers. And I just cracked one open. Well, I cracked them all open, laid them out, and then just picked through stuff as I went. Stuff that appealed to me that I thought matched both the feel of the sentiment piece and the color that I had brought along with it. All right, so I did these a little bit in an odd order for me. I feel like I usually start from the bottom up. I start with my background piece, which are the rectangles, and then I would pick my next, like my mat, which is the step that I'm doing at the end. And then I would pick my sentiment or my focal image, and then my embellishments. So I am doing this completely in a zigzaggy way for me, which has made it frustrating for me sometimes, but I mean, it is what it is. I was starting with the sentiments. That's what inspired me. And then wanting to stash bust is what led me to my scraps for my backgrounds and my embellishments, and eventually to here. I tried to do a few. What I won't be showing today is kind of the next step, which was I cut down the papers that I chose to 3x3 or 3x4, depending on what I was planning on doing. And then I began distressing the edges. What is coming up next is in the next video in the series, I will be doing one card design using about 6 of these cards. And then the next one will be using, another design for another chunk of the cards, and so on and so forth. So I'm going to have 36 cards at the end. They're all going to be inspired from one sheet of paper, but they're going to have a lot of variety, I think, between the colors and the design and the styles. So I really hope that you'll join me again when the next video is up for this series. And if you're thinking about playing along, that would be amazing, and I would love to hear about it. So please share that with me in the comments. If you don't have this piece of paper, no worries. I am sure you have a stamp that looks similar to this, or a combination of stamps, or you have another piece of paper that you can punch circles out of and use stickers as sentiments, something like that. So, look at your stash and see what you have and see if you want to play along. That would be awesome. So, all right, guys. So I will see you next week with another video. Take care. Bye.